Good evening, January the 8th, 2021. Welcome back to Barbers Arms. Happy new lockdown 3. Here we go. Start of a new year, guys. Me and Gaz are going to take you through on the news desk to start off with and find out what's happening with everybody's lockdown, trials and tribulations here in the UK and across the globe. 8:15, we've got Paul Simmons joining us in the arms for his first appearance in Barbers Arms. Gaz has got a beautiful lockdown, a very wintry cocktail for you at 8:45. And at 8:50, we have one of the co-founders of BarberEVO, David Foster, will be joining us Barbers Arms. What a fantastic evening we have in store. Welcome back. It's January, it's 2021. Let's be positive. Please welcome my co-host, Mr. Gary Machin.
Good evening and welcome, sir. How are you? I'd like to thank everybody who's joining us on this wintry night. We've still got snow in North Staffordshire, so it's a really fresh, white over New Year for us. How are you, mate, anyway? All right?
Do you know what? Just before I went on air, I can't believe it. I've had, and it's always my damn, I've had a fruit gum, and it's fetched out one of my implants. I can't believe it. 2 grand.
You know what?
You know?
I've been waiting. I've been waiting to go to the dentist. I have since before March. I've got a filling to have, I'm going on Monday. Can you believe it? It's still going through. So I'm feeling your pain at the moment. I've got a filling that's got to go in just in the back there. So, but you will eat these sweeties. You see, it's no good.
See, these are natural teeth. I've just got one implant at the back there, but it's been coming. I felt it being a bit loose. But no, I can imagine if it were one of your front teeth. Jesus, that'd be a disaster. Anyway, Happy New Year. It's been tough to say Happy New Year. So, guys, when I said welcome back in 2021, I don't want to be patronising to anybody tonight. We're going to say it as it is, as we always do on Arms. We start in 2021 with 5.1 million views behind us since we started this back in April last year. So thank you to everybody. I know we'll have big views tonight with everybody watching whilst you're at home. So welcome back to Barbers Arms. Welcome back to the Barbering and Hairdressing chat show tonight. As we've said, we've got some great guests on tonight. Keeping it UK tonight, and then over the next couple of weeks, we're going to go back international. So it's fantastic. Thank you to our main sponsors, the British Barbers Association and Wahl UK, for their continued support in 21. So, guys, I think we'll just kick off before we go into the guests tonight is one of the biggest things, and I want to get it out of the way so we can get some positives on. Everybody's struggling at the minute, I think, in terms of what can we claim, what's about, how do we cope with this next lot, what furlough. From your position then with your 5 shops, what advice can you give to everybody?
Well, we're going to give a roundup at the end anyway, but I mean, the main thing is just speak to people. There's loads of things on there. I mean, we're talking to BarberEVO tonight. They put their new edition has just come out. They put loads of information in there as well, who they can touch with. But from a financial point of view, we're going to have a little roundup towards the end. We've got loads of information that we're going to bring through from the news desk as well. We're all in it together at the moment, aren't we? All the devolved nations, we're all off at the same time at the minute. I mean, we're not very good news, is it, on the news at all either? You know, we've got the new 3 vaccines that are coming in, hopefully, but we've had bigger numbers today than we've ever had, which is quite unbelievable, really, when we've been trying to do all the right things, but something obviously isn't working. But can I just take this opportunity first? I've got loads and loads of messages because we've been missing for 2 weeks, haven't we? And the actual Christmas special was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. We all had a Christmas jumpers on. It seems a million miles away now because, I mean, we're day 9 into lockdown, and we went into lockdown. Well, we did personally the day before Christmas, New Year's Eve. We got locked down. But all the people that watched us from all over the country made it possible. So we got Paul there from Australia, we got Bobby from the States, got Adrian and Brian and all the people in Canada that follow us as well. And we've had so many, 123,000 viewers we had on for that particular show. So we just love to say thank you so much for sticking with us and being with us along this journey. Again, as you've just said, lockdown 3, never thought in a million years it would happen again. You know, when we're talking about going back, if we cast our minds back to the 4th of July, when we came back, we thought we'd done all the hard work, we'd done all the sacrifice, and here we are, no better off at all. So, you know, we are going to give some advice out. We are going to go stay positive as much as we possibly can. But the main thing is, how's your homeschooling coming?
Well, there's a big worry in there about this country. I think Ross put some out last week, is that in about, depends on age groups, but in the next 5 or 10 years, this country is going to be run by kids who were trained by alcoholics and teach by alcoholics. I think everybody's had a similar view. I've been speaking to is that with the kids, there's not as much pressure. The newness has gone in terms of we've got to homeschool. It's got to be said that, you know, what will be whatever the schools are going to prepare on, whatever they like doing at home. If they're good at art, let them do art. If they're good at math, you know, whatever the school's Zooms are going to do. And I know it's hard for schools as well. You can't criticize anybody, but you can't put pressure on parents as well. So for every barber out there and hairdresser out there that's watching, don't beat yourselves up too much. I'm sure over the next 5 or 6 years, for some people, they'll be able to catch up. You know, I believe they've cancelled exams this year, haven't they?
Well, yeah, I think it's finally come through that they've bit the bullet and decided to. I mean, Millie, you know my family. Millie's the youngest of our brood, and she's 16. She's in the last year of high school, so it's been a funny year. I think it's been hard as well because they've literally lost the whole last year of input for their exams, haven't they? You know.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I mean, Millie's gone, she's still at school. She's gone into school. They had the choice in our area that year 11s, year 13s who were having exams could go back into school. And she's better in, you know, in kind of, she loves the support and the everyday of going into school. She's not very good at self-motivation sitting at home. So we backed her all the way. She said she wanted to go in, so she's gone into schools. I don't think a lot have, but you know, she's gone into school, and hopefully it's gonna reap benefits. But you know, you've got to feel out there because we're not teachers. Well, we are teachers, but not in our specific subjects. We've been trained as teachers. You know, we're qualified teachers, myself and Rachel, but it's the content sometimes. You know, it isn't just revision. They're actually throwing stuff out there that's new to them and new to us, and it's hard when it's okay, you can go over revision papers with them, but when you're teaching them new content, you know, social studies and, you know, biology, chemistry, that kind of stuff, maths,
I'd be all right at social studies and that, and biology. I think I'll be all right.
Well, speak for yourself and tell you want to see some of these questions that they're throwing at us. So, you know, I feel for everybody out there. You've got to just try and do your best and just keep the kids motivated. And the hardest thing, I think, is, as it is with all of us, is it's that contact that we've lost with everybody, isn't it? So, yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. We won't say we're turning to drink, but it's quite hard as well because we've got, well, personally, I haven't got a lot to do this time, and the weather's so bad that you can't get out. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 inches of snow outside, so we haven't, the snow hasn't left us from a week last Monday, so it's been a bit dire, to be honest, outside. Good for walking the dog because she doesn't get caked up in mud, but you know, other than that, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, we've had no snow where I am, but I think in the most parts of Yorkshire they've had some heavy snow. I'm gonna try to watch Alex tomorrow on some stream or something. If it were going to be, his game's being called off, so I'd rather it be told off tomorrow. I'd rather sleep tonight having something to look forward to tomorrow than when he phoned me tonight and said, I'm having a night at my mum's tonight, because he always has a night at home before a match, and he's phoned me on way up there tonight. He said, I think game's off tomorrow. And I'm like, I wish you'd have told me tomorrow, because at least I could have slept getting positive, thinking I'm going to match. I'd rather be let down tomorrow than let down today. But look, that's That's football. We've struggled with that. Guys, I think coming up tonight, the guests who have got coming up as well. You know, Paul, I've known Paul for years, going back right when I first started my career at Wahl. Paul were around then, so we'll have a bit of a giggle with Paul, some of the trials and tribulations that he's had through his career, shops that he's had, shops that he's got, and, you know, he's been... I need to speak to him as well about his social media, because I think it was his wedding anniversary this week. He's been putting fucking pictures up for his wedding all the time, something wrong with him. And then we've got Dave Foster on as well. I mean, David interviewed me and you, great guy. Magazine looks fantastic. I've got a copy right in front of me here. I don't know why they've put the Ricks boys on front cover. Should have been me and you, Dan and Rob, Dan and his dad. Okay, come on, stop it. He needs to be taught a lesson tonight on that one. Me and Gaz looking like the milk tray boys. We need to be on the front cover of BarberEVO. And I think, you know, finishing off tonight, when we've had his guests on, guys, when you're tuning in, Gaz has got a great guest on next week from America. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And we've also got lots of exciting stuff coming up here on Barber's Arms. And, you know, this is the place that, you know, this next 4 or 5 weeks, I think is really important. I said to everybody, I've heard it a few times as well. I was speaking to Trev just before we came on, and I think the rates are high, the casualties are high. You know, why ever we stop clapping NHS, I don't know, because we need to keep, you know, they've worked tirelessly so hard on the front line over Christmas. But I do think this could be potentially the last hurdle. I think vaccinations coming in, I think this could be the biggest hurdle that we've had, the hardest hurdle that we've had. But I think it could be one of the last ones before we get back to some normality. So let's try and be positive. Talking of positivity, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm on Old Faithful, Newcastle Brown Ale, my absolute favourite. So I'm still on that. In my bespoke Barber's Arms glass, of course. Just tastes that much better, half-pint glass. If there's any Geordies out there, Newcastletonians, they know it's drunk out of half-pint glass. I've got my Old Faithful. I've got me whiskey mix that I take shooting with me. So I've got one of them tonight. I'm not going to do that in tonight.
I've got
my favourite. My favourite, which is me Fireball from Canada.
I like that. It's nice, cinnamony.
Yeah.
Apple pie moonshine tonight, which will be nice. I'm going to swirl it around me. My dentist is quite good, actually. He's a South African guy, but he's a mate. So I'm going to try and text him on Sunday night so can I nip in on, because I'm scared now of swallowing this while I'm asleep, especially when I've had a few moonshines as well. I'm going to swirl it round it. That'll kill everything in it. I'm on a bit of Desperado again. I like it. It's like liquid Valium. It's the first Desperado I've had since the 19th when we had our Christmas party. I don't know if anybody else notices this as well, but when you get a bit older, and especially some of our older viewers that we have with us, and, you know, I'm not going to mention any names, but do you ever forget, like, you can't remember what you did the night before?
Good God, it happens to me all the time. You know me. I
can remember going to after party with you, but then I bowed out really early, which I'm glad I did. But you know, I think it got a bit messy, didn't it? Oh, you know, one of our, I think a couple of our top fans as well have been ill with COVID as well. So Alison Russo Brown, Ali up in Scotland. I know you've had it bad, you and your husband Graham, from Christmas Day. We'll probably get Alison in the next couple of weeks to speak about it, but I know she's been struggling with it, but she's getting better. So God bless you both up there in Scotland. We better as well.
I think we better have a shot to Alison. We just to get well soon shot, to be honest.
I'll have a little bit of tequila. I've got my little tequila mug as well. I think Rob Grosvenor as well. He's had a little stint of it as well, and I think he's been pretty ill with it as well. So I think, you know, both those guys, anybody else that watches as well that struggled with it. Cheers to you. Good health to you all. Oh, you're getting on the men. What are you drinking?
Do you know what? I think I've got a defective top. I've on this. I'm having a little sambuca, licorice sambuca. I just found this at the back of the cupboard, so I thought I'm going to just try that. So,
You know, if you put a little bit of cream on top, they call them mini Guinnesses.
yeah, good, I'll say. Mm. I've got my groom in the cupboard, so I'm going to get rid of that one tonight. I'm going to make sure I finish that one tonight. Anyway, I've got enough beer and spirits to sink a battleship. I think we've gone over, you know, when, and I'm sure everybody's done this over Christmas. We were having nobody round. I know we had a Zoom call with you and the good woman and Jackie and Trevor and everybody else, but I've had nobody round at all. I'm sure everybody else has done the right thing as well. And I think I bought exactly the same as I usually do on a normal year, and it's piled up high. Rachel did the same with the food. I think it's caught us all out this year completely, hasn't it?
I went over to Top on Christmas for Christmas Day food, and then we were speaking it to it before. I bought lots of cases of lager and I don't even drink bitter, but for when people come, I like to have a full stock. So there were cases of cider, there were John Smiths, there were like different lagers. They were all outside. Red wine, white wine, rosé wine, everything. We had everything in. But I looked in drinks cupboard today, and it's packed still. There's not much lager left and stuff like that. But I love Ross and Jackie's drinks cabinet. That's nice.
Oh, beautiful. Wait till we go up and smash that. Yeah. It'll be, the trouble is with that, it doesn't fit enough in, I don't think. There wasn't enough room in that, was there?
You were talking about the drinks cabinet then, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
I think we've got somebody in the arms.
Okay, I think we've got Mr. Simmons joining us in the house. Simo, are we there? Can we put you off mute?
Take it off mute, Paul.
Touch your mute button.
That's it.
Simo, I'm on. How you doing?
We're very well.
How you doing, Gary?
Welcome to the arms, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Better for seeing you.
I like the shirt. It's quite similar.
Oh, yeah. Magnificent beard, sir, I must say.
Yes, I know, sir.
So just to let all the viewers know as well, so obviously where Simo is and where Gary is, they've both got Primarks in their area, so where they've got clobber from, they've been matching up before they come on show. Simo, have you had a good Christmas?
This was a wedding present for my anniversary, so fuck off.
Oh, listen, we've been on about your wedding. How many photographs we've been seeing coming up? Stop it. What's wrong with you?
Mate, I'm trying to get on that Housewives of Tipton.
Hey, I've seen all the photos. She's beautiful, mate. She's a credit to you. I mean, you're punching above your weight there, mate, aren't you?
Absolutely, she's beautiful, isn't she?
So, Paul, just give us two minutes. I mean, 2 minutes. Quick roundup. Who you are, where you're from, and what you stand for. Well,
essentially, I'm a barber, hairdresser. I work right on the edge of Birmingham, which is it's called Tipton. It's where you go to get your car back when it's been stolen. And I've got a beautiful hairdressing salon, well, a beautiful barbershop just on the outskirts of Birmingham. And I just like to be happy, really. And I like to work hard. I don't like to sit around doing nothing. And I think if I stood for anything, it'd be about graft. I like to do my bit.
Fair play to you, mate. What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, well, Gary, I've got some Bacardi and Coke. I did have half a bottle of Bacardi and Coke, but I got fed up waiting for you lot. And I've got some Jack Daniel's honey.
Oh, very good.
I'll put that there. And then just in case I get thirsty, I've got a couple of Stellas.
And just in case you get thirsty.
Yeah, well, you know.
Cheers.
She looks after me well.
Very best,
Cheers
So
to you, Gary.
Simo, I know you've watched the show, mate. I know you're a big fan of ours, and I know you've been commenting on the show. So you know what's coming up. We're going to go through, for our viewers that's out there, we're going to, when we talk to our guests, we want to get a bit of a profile on you. We're going to ask you some questions about you and your career, and then we'll finish off with a quick fire answer question about just a profile builder as well before we finish off with you. Nice and easy, relax, and we're just going to have a good time while we're in the arms. Simo, me and you've gone back years. I mean, I remember the first time I started working for Wahl, you were there at that time with Jeff Turnbull. We shared many hotels in London together, working up at Wembley before it went to Excel. Chicago, yeah. So, you know, our careers.
Milan, I think.
A long time. Guys, if you're watching as well, Paul's Instagram's on screen now as we're on. Don't forget to follow me, Simon Shaw Wahl. Gaz is the British Barber. And Barbers_arms is our Instagram accounts if you want to follow us on Insta. But Simo's Instagram for what he's doing. Got a nice build up on your Insta as well for tonight's show, Paul. Paul, we're going to start off with the first question I've got for you. And I'm just going to put my tooth back in.
How was your
Fuck's
I
sake.
remember when you used to have to put them in a glass. Do you remember that? When we were in Chicago, you had to get them out of the glass and you used to have to rinse them before we used to go on stage.
Yeah, they still look fucking shit out though. Simo, you know, looking at people's careers and that, and you've been around a long time, so you've had your highs and you've had your lows. But what part of your career would you love to go back in time, or now, or wherever? Which part of your career would you like to go back and change?
Oh, well, do you know something? I've had some incredible highs, some fantastic times in my life. And some of the times that was really bad, no one would ever know because I kind of fooled everybody into thinking that they were fantastic times as well. But I don't think I'd change anything, you know. Probably, if I could go back in time, I'd probably go back to my apprenticeship and get to work on time because I was late every morning. I was absolutely wank.
So that's the only part of your career you change is potentially the youth side of it is to go back and get back in there and
just get there on time. I never realised at the time how pissed off my boss must have been for me turning up at sort of 8:15 instead of 8 o'clock. Now it's like it kills my brain if someone does it to me.
Yeah, so I was going to say, how do you deal with it then as a salon owner? If you've got a good stylist like yourself coming up there who's enthusiastic, but they're continually late, do you ever have any empathy with them? Like I used to like that, and have a word with them and say, "Look, I like that, but if I could go back in time, I'd change it." How's it?
Sometimes, but I think more now than ever that like, mind you, my apprentice now, Tom Williams, absolutely brilliant. Follow him on Instagram. I pick the little bastard up every morning, so I don't know where that goes. I pick him up from work, from home, and I drop him off every evening. But me personally, I truly think that if you can wake up in the morning, get to work, do your bit. Use your tooth, all right, mate. If you can get to work and do your bit, stop it. And get there early and be prepared. You know, get there. If you start at 9, get there at 10 to get the kettle on. Think what your boss wants doing first. If you're the apprentice, and just crack on. I mean, it's the biggest regret that I was late sometimes. I wasn't late every morning. I was just late probably one morning a week. But now I look back at it, kills me. Do you know what? As well, I used to go to work pissed on Saturday mornings. I'd be out at sort of 4 o'clock in the morning.
So does Gaz every Saturday.
I'd go out. I'd get back about 4 o'clock on a Friday evening, and I'd be at work for 8, and all the customers used to think I was mega cool. I'd be working away with a pair of sunglasses on, and I was actually still pissed. Anyway,
do you know what? Do you know what though? I think that's really apt, Paul, that you actually bring that up, and credit to you for actually saying it as well, because everybody moans as if it's a millennial thing.
Yeah.
You know, or they don't want the job, they don't turn up, this, that, and the other. And we can't tar them with all the same brush, but if it's one thing that does me head in or it drives me crazy.
He's eating wine gums.
It drives me crazy is somebody not turning. that is the first and only thing they need to do in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
that is the hardest. I think that's
But
the hardest thing for staff
Gary,
to
can
be
you
on
imagine
time.
though? Can you imagine though, if you're a 17 or 18-year-old kid in 2020, you can't go out to meet your mates, you can't go for a beer, you can't. I mean, you know, part of my happy memories was going out, you know, girls, drink, booze, you know, all the stuff, you know, drag a girl around the back by the bins and have a good snog. All of that now, they're not doing that. And they're meeting people online, which is completely false because all the lads are like superheroes and all the girls are catfish. So I really feel sorry for them, to be honest with you, at the moment. I've got a 17-year-old daughter, and yeah, she's 17, and I really wish she could go out and enjoy herself and go to work with a hangover and all of it, you know.
I think it's. I think they're going to bed even later though, because with social media thing and gaming and everything else, you know, I'll have a word with my lads when they get in the morning, and I'll name him and shame him today. Jack Howarth, who works for us, he is a fantastic barber, great at his job, but can I get him out of bed, man? He is absolutely. I could kill him honestly. But what I'm saying is as well, he'll actually openly admit he stops up half the night. They're almost nocturnal these days.
Yeah, they are, yeah. But do you know something? I think probably when we were kids, we were probably, I wouldn't say nocturnal, but we were just the same, wasn't we? One of the things I hate about our industry is, right, is that people always moan about the kids, about the youth. You know, they go like, oh, he's 19, he ain't any good yet. Crikey, there's some kids that are 19-year-olds that skin fade us to death. They would kill us alive. So, you know, the youth of today is fantastic. I mean, I personally, I've got 5 kids, and I bollock all of them on a regular basis, and some of them are sort of almost 40. Sorry, Natalie. But I've got fantastic kids. But you've got to live your life. I mean, you've got to live it. You've got to go for it big time, because it goes like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think well, I was speaking to one of my pals today, and I said, his son, he's 3. And I'm like, where's that gone? Doesn't seem 2 minutes since I came to see him when he was born. But yeah, it's funny. Paul, we spoke about the parts of your career that you'd like to go back and change. This next question's similar, but a little bit different. Which part of your career would you like to go back and actually not change up, but relive it again because it was that good?
Relive it and do it again. Oh, do you know something? There was a time in my career when, wow, me and my eldest son were working together in the same shop, and we were working alongside each other, and that was wicked. But every day we kind of argued, but it was brilliant.
Did you feel it when you just said that? Was there a bit of emotion there?
Yeah, a little bit. Did you notice?
Yeah, I could tell that. Listen, mate, I kind of, you know, stuff like that to me, you know, my son's a footballer, but there's no fucking chance of me playing alongside him, is there? You know, I'm never going to be able to get that opportunity in my life. You know, I used to be a good footballer when I was younger, but there's no chance. But yeah, I think working alongside your son would be a nice.
I've got 2 sons that are barbers. In my family, I've got 2 sons that are barbers. My wife's a barber. My daughter-in-law's a barber. My brother's a barber. And even now, sometimes when we're working away, I look across and I see my wife cutting hair in the same shop as me. And it just blows my brains, honestly, because she's come so far. She's bloody good as well. So that really, honestly, just working with family is, in an ideal world, you'd work with family all the time. You'd have one big shop with your 2 sons, your brother, your wife, but we'd all end up killing each other. So it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
So you don't work with each other now, then?
No, my son Ned, he owns Steel Wolf Barbers Club, and my other son Tom, he runs Steel Wolf in Parkfields, which is just on the edge of Wolverhampton, and my brother, he runs SK which is the other side of Wolverhampton. And then until not so long ago, my wife used to run her own shop in Albury, which was Simmons Barbershops too. But we decided we were going to close 2 shops and amalgamate into 1. So we've split all the shops up, and I'm really proud of them, honestly. They're brilliant, they are.
Nice.
That's fantastic. That was going to be my next question, because you were relocated in August into the shop they're in now. That I see the background is there with you. You've got your background in the new shop, and
yeah,
we've seen it all on social media. And then something went and happened that everybody dreads, and we've had the same problem ourselves. But you got broken in as well. How did that affect you? And how did it come along?
You know what? You're not going to believe this. You know, the first lockdown we had, we got our bank got hacked, and they took all of our savings. But we got all of that back. That was no problem at all, really. NatWest, 3 weeks, we got it back. It felt like 3 years. But the last lockdown we had, we closed down on the Wednesday evening. My wife was a bit upset. So was I. We closed the shop down, and I thought, I'll go back in the morning, pick up the computer and everything. Anyway, I went to work on the Thursday morning to collect the computer and make sure, and the back door was off. They'd stolen the iMac, a camera, an iPad, and the worst thing was, though, they took all my tools. Fucking bastards took my tools. They stole all my equipment. They stole my scissors. They stole my clippers. But I'm blessed, you know. I'm in the I'm an ambassador for Mataki, and Emma from Mataki. She had a word with some of the ambassadors, and they chipped together. And I opened a parcel a few days later. I'd got clippers. I'd got scissors. I'd got honestly everything. So, do you know what? Out of a bad thing, out of something that was dreadful, something amazing happened, because you realise who your friends are, where the support is. So it was dreadful, expensive, but there you go.
Yeah, it's not nice. I think any break-ins are not nice. You know, especially with shops and stuff. I'm terrible. I've only ever had one car broke into, but it never felt same afterwards as well. Just like never felt same afterwards.
Yeah, you know what? It's our shop it's beautiful, and it's our baby, and it was painful. You know, we stood in the middle of the shop and we both cried. But it's our baby, and you know something? It happened, and I think probably with the situation that we're going on in the world now, there's going to be more of that. There's going to be more people breaking into places and stealing things. The daft thing about it is, whoever stole my stuff, if they'd have come to me, if I'd got 50 quid in my pocket, I'd have given it to them.
Most burglars though are out of business at the minute because everybody's still at home every day.
Yeah, that's true. You know, that's true.
Yeah, it's a bad state of affairs. To be fair, bad state of affairs.
The thing is, Paul, I think it makes a very bad situation even worse. Though it's like almost a kick in the teeth.
Absolutely. I think, you know what? I think it would have been dreadful if we'd have been broke into at any other time, but being broke into the same evening that we closed, that was heartbreaking. And do you know what, right? West Midlands Police have not even been to my shop yet. Not once. Not once. They text us. No, they text us a crime number. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it, yeah. They haven't been. They didn't come to the property. We left it for about obviously we secured the back door, but we left the property with all the drawers open for about a week before, and we thought at least someone's going to come. No one even attended. So, but I couldn't. You know what, right? Our customers were amazing. So you know, I had a customer that's a really good, brilliant customer. He turned up one day with a PC. Another customer, he's got no hair now, but I used to cut his hair like 15 years ago. He turned up, gave me an iPad, and people were just brilliant. It shows you how good people can be, and so it was a horrible negative thing, but our customers and our friends were brilliant, and I can't ask for any more. They were absolutely brilliant.
That's good. Simo, just recently, some of the questions I've had in fact, I was speaking to Gary earlier about this, actually. You put some photographs out on some posts, I think might have been working for Wahl or Moser at some point, them photographs. I think you put 1977 on them, but I've put the date round about 1977.
No, what I was saying on the pictures was that I've been in the industry since, been actually full-time working since 76, 77. But I think that was about 98, those pictures.
I said to you guys, didn't I? 97, 98, because there was René there from France.
Oh, I've got him on Facebook now. He's honestly, what a beautiful bloke, man. He's an amazing character,
you know,
isn't he?
Every time he comes to Salon International, he'll always ask me for a T-shirt. He's not part of the global team anymore.
Yeah, he's really badly dressed.
Yeah, and I think the Wahl T-shirts help him out as well.
And, do you remember? You wouldn't remember. There's another guy from Barcelona, Silvino. He sent me a friend request this week, so I'm friends with him. So yeah, it was about 1998. Shall I tell you a funny thing? Yeah. You were talking about I'm a Wahl guy through and through, don't you?
Yeah, of course I do, mate. Yeah.
Do you know what? Right, I hated doing them shows.
What on the European circuit?
Yeah. Well, I hated. Do you know something? At first I really enjoyed it, but then I really missed home. So that was a weird thing. I really missed home because, well as you know, like usually you're global, not local, but now you're fucking local, aren't you? But one of the things
I'm homesick. I'm fucking sick of home.
Yeah, I know, mate. But the funny thing about it was, I love education. I love teaching people. But after a while, do you know what I felt like after about 3 years of doing it? When you go to a market and you see a guy and he's selling a potato chipper, and he's going, it chips, it slices, it peels. I felt like that a little bit. So when I decided that I was going to leave and I went, then I think that you were already doing stuff with it, but then you took it to the next level then. And obviously you took it to a level that I would never been able to take it to, because my heart wasn't in it, because I was more interested in my business, really. So I was purely doing it for money. And I love educating people and I love education, and it was a great way to see the world. But it's your passion and you're brilliant at it. I mean, you're a showman. While I think about it, I've got to congratulate you and Gary, because what you've done with this as well, you two, is amazing. You've taken this to like 500,000 people. 500,000 fucking people watch this. 125,000 was it last week? Watch this. That's crazy. So congratulations to the pair of you.
Oh, thanks, mate. We'll have a drink to that, shall we, Gaz?
Yeah, good health, all the very best. I
Cheers.
Told you he wasn't 76.
No, I feel 76.
He should be putting 77 on. I will give you compliments today. I said, I think he's about 53-year-old, but I might be wrong with that.
I'm 60.
Unless you started your hairdressing career when you were 7.
No, I'm 60 now.
You're 60. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, you look very good for 60.
And my wife's 23.
Yeah. She's very fortunate. The rest of the Smurfs out there will be fucking very happy with what you've done tonight. Simo, we're gonna finish off with some questions, and we're gonna give you a little bit different. So when you've watched this before, we have a series of questions. We've tweaked them a little bit and we've changed them for you a little bit. So if you're prepared,
I've practiced all those questions. You can't go spinning it on me now.
We spinned it. What's your favourite hair show that you go to?
Do you know what? It's Cosmoprof. That's the best one, I think. I love that one.
In Italy?
In Bologna. Yeah, Bologna.
Yeah. I love that. I just love that weekend, but
yeah, because the food's amazing, the wine's amazing, but the show was good as well. So and the great thing is you get to meet international people. So that's wicked.
Definitely. What's your favourite music?
Well, do you know what? Right, everybody that knows me knows I'm a massive Tom Jones fan. One of the lads at work said, if you turn my head upside down, I'll look like Tom Jones. But I love Tom Jones, but like I like modern stuff as well, so it ain't just Tom Jones. Luca Chitti has got me really into oh crikey, what's her name? Oh God, I can't remember the girl's name, but Luca Chitti sings this this girl on Instagram all the time. I've lost it, my brain's gone. But go on, sorry.
Who's your favourite clothes designer? What's the favourite clothes that you like to wear?
Oh, sorry, my wife's shouting downstairs. Celine Dion, that was what it was. I'm not really a massive clothes designer fan because if I like it, I like it. I'll wear a £15 shirt just as comfortably as a 1500.
If you had to choose one, who's your favourite?
Oh God, McQueen.
Who's your favourite barbering icon?
Do you know something? I've got a few barbers that I really think are brilliant. I love Johnny from Barber. I think he's fucking class. But my icons are not from the barbering world, really. I love Robert Labetta, and I love Trevor Sorby, and my favourite of all time is Anthony Mascalo. I find with barbers that they've got, like, if you look on a barber's website or his Instagram, it's a skin fade and a skin fade and a skin fade and a skin fade. But if you look at somebody like Robert Labetta, it's completely different. If I'd got to choose two barbers that would blow my mind, one of them's fucking mental, but I love him, is Paul Mack, and the other one's Luca Chitti.
Okay. What if you had one haircut, Paul, that we put you on stage and you said, right, this is it, this is your last show, this is the last haircut you're going to do, what haircut would it be?
It would be, anybody that knows me know I love kids, and in a good way. So it'd probably be a little toddler's trim because I love kids. I'd sooner cut kids more than adults.
Fair point.
Okay. We'll try and piece this together, guys. It's the first time I've done this one. It's a bit different. So we've got Paul Simmons. Great to have you on, mate. I've known you for years. You look fantastic. I hope you have a fantastic 2021. You deserve it, you and your beautiful wife, Sarah. Congratulations on your wedding anniversary. Keep using the Wahl products. I love your Forever Wahl slogans that you have everywhere. So it's great to have you on Barber's Arms. Keep watching us afterwards. We've got Paul Simmons here. He's in Cosmoprof in his favourite Italian hairdressing show. He's got some Tom Jones playing through his cordless earbuds. It's not unusual to be loved
by anyone.
He's wearing his favourite McQueen top. He loves a bit of Alexander McQueen. He's got Robert Labetta, who's in the audience watching him as his icon. And he's going to be cutting a kid's haircut because that's his favourite thing to do. Paul Simmons, you've been a pleasure to have on Barber's Arms. Congratulations, pal. All the best to you.
God bless you.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks very much.
Simo.
Well, I know we say it every time, but another great guest.
It flies as well, doesn't it? You know, Gaz, we've had... Do you know what? If I'm really honest, I've enjoyed the Fridays off, the last few Fridays off, but I couldn't wait to get back on because we are one big family. Sharon McKell, Alison Russo, Rob Rosa, Martin Lindbridge, Carl Smith, Nick Osso. You know, I'm just mentioning a few there, but you're in there every week. So I do miss you all, but it's been nice to have a few weeks off. And then you get back into interviewing. And it just comes like as a natural thing, but it just flies as well, doesn't it?
But when you have good guests on as well. I mean, I know we can't guarantee good guests, and we have some good, we have some bad, we have some ugly. But I think we need to get a full look at throughout the industry as well. We go from Tipton to down to Cornwall, up to the northwest, up to Scotland, you know, the southeast. You know, I think it's great to getting these people on as well, but it's telling story as well. I know we didn't want to tip on the COVID side of things too much tonight, but it's just getting to know people as well and what's happening around the country, isn't it? So I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
It's nice. So, guys, we've got Dave Foster coming on in a minute from BarberEVO. I'm really looking forward to interviewing Dave because he normally interviews us and other people. So I think everyone's looking forward to your cocktail tonight. But don't forget, guys, as well, joining us back. It's our new show, so I'm not going to go over the top with stuff. When we get into the second part of the show after David's been on, I'm going to tell you a few things that's coming up, a few guests that we've got coming up. So far, thank you to our 5.1 million views that we've had so far since we started this show. Over 300,000 podcast downloads. You can follow me, Simon Shaw, on Insta. Gaz is the British Barber. Barbers _arms is our Instagram. Website is thebarbersarms.co.uk. And you can email us at barbersarms@thebritishbarber.com. Those are our information, social media sites. Gaz, what is tonight's cocktail?
Tonight's cocktail is because we are where we are at the moment within lockdown. I'm just going to turn just this down because everybody moans that they can't see what's going on. It's called the Hibernation. So this is for those cold wintry nights. If you've got snow where you are, this is for you guys. I'm just going to tip that just very slightly so you can see what we do. I've even even had a new shaker as well. So what we're going to do is, and I do this because so I can save time. So we put some load it in with dry ice in there so we can just cool the ingredients and not water them down. So here we have it. What I've done is I've got all the ingredients ready. And the Hibernation is a bit of a winter drink. It's everything that you'd want in a winter's drink. So here we're having it. So we've got some, and this is the barmaid's. I bought her so many expensive rums and dark rums in the past, and she always goes back to lamb. She absolutely loves that. I think she likes a little bit of sailor in her. So there we are. We've got lamb's rum, so 1 ounce or 30 ml of lamb's rum that goes in there. We've got some cognac. We've got some Remy Martin cognac, so we're going to have 1 ounce of that as well, or about 25 ml. Put that one in. We've got some single cream, so 25 ml. This is we should only have about half of that really, but we're going to tip that in. It sticks to the sides as well, so we're not cheating really. We just put a little extra in. So when we're working with this, all we're going to do is going to shake this up in a minute. We've got some sweetness going in there. So what we need here is we've got some cinnamon syrup, and it needs about ½ an ounce or something like that. So I'm going to give it a quick dollop, and you all know cinnamon on your apple pies and your cakes. Then we've got our Augusta bitters. So we're going to put this in. 1, 2, just a couple of shoves of those, drops of that in. Aromatic bitters in there. And then I've got just some. Now, I've not used this before, but this is pimento bitters. So a couple of drops of that. We're going to put that in there as well. Got that out already because it's a very small bottle. So we put that in. We're just going to get our shaker now. So put that on, and we're going to shake that up. And all as we're doing there, you can even see the actual side of the shaker going cold. All we need is that to go cold. All we're doing is really shaking the whole of the ingredients. And we've got our nice glass here. You can use your mug for that. You put your tea in if you want to. I've used a nice glass one. We're going to just push this now. Nearly just about fills that. How's that for perfect? Perfect, absolute. So can everybody just see that there? So we've got the glass again, and then what we're going to do there, we've got some, and I can't believe this, but the barmaid had already, when I decided to do this, she'd already even got these in. She does a lot of cooking anyway. She's a great cook. So what we're going to do is we're just going to got some cinnamon sticks that you can see, sweet cinnamon, and we're just going to oh, look at that, baby. Could work in a bar, couldn't we? If you wanted to put it and float it on the top to dress it, you could do, but we're not going to because I'm going to drink the baby. So, ladies and gents, it is winter in a glass. Good health, all the very best.
Good health to you. Looks very delicious.
That's our hibernation. Good health.
Nice. In one. Oh, guess in.
That is a winter's drink. That is winter in a glass. That is absolutely beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, so I think that's one of my favourite. I thought the North Pole was good, but that is beautiful. I think we'll be making a couple of them again tonight before we go to bed.
You know, I'm just thinking while you're doing that as well. I remember being this time of year. I'm always in Chicago for our annual American. I got to the American training weekend, and we always had guests in. But I remember being in Chicago with Simo, and I think it was about 8 foot of snow. But typical British as well at that point. I'm going back here probably 2002. We're in an hotel, and we were in the pool about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. We're having a swim together just while we're waiting to get to work, but we were up early. But funny times. I'm sure everybody else is going through points in the career as well, where at this point in the year, what you'd be doing and stuff like that. I'm no different. It is tough. I've tried to come up with some real positive stuff, which I'm going to touch on after we've had our next guest on, David from BarberEVO. Some stuff that's helping me get through some stuff. And hopefully I can share them with you. Me and Gaz will start our daily posts as well, hopefully, to try to give you a little bit of words of inspiration through this next lockdown as well, on things to do. I think it's just about being positive.
Do you know what? When I've ever worked in Chicago, and I know I've met you a few times, I've always got a cabin to work. I've never swam into work.
Oh, well, we obviously we stay in nice hotels because it's warm, but I suppose...
Hey, I've stayed in some nice hotels in Chicago.
We were there. What was it last year? We were there together, or year before?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was you. I can't remember. It
went last year, Gaz. We were cancelled last year, so it's got to be 2019 last time we were there. 2019, 2018. Great city. And I know a lot of our American people watch this show as well. So God bless to all our brothers and sisters out in America and everywhere else around the globe. I know I've been looking at some of the stuff on Insta from our Indian colleagues, especially Akim. Everybody seems to be doing their own stuff. And it's really weird because different parts of the world are on different parts of lockdown as well. So some people up and running and working as normal. Some people are on the same as us. So it's quite different. Some fun and games as well in Washington, DC as well. So any Americans that's watching the next week as well, pass your comments on to us how things are out there at the minute. It's a bit turbulent to say the least, isn't it?
Have you spoken to, I mean, do you know what? Brian, I hope you're watching. I know you always watch us, mate. I had some great memories in Washington, DC. We had some, we stopped there and we did a load of work. I think we did something like 9 salons in 3 days, or it was 9 barbershops or something in 3 days. Lovely city. Struck me as being really clean, lovely. Did all the sites, and Brian posted a photo of us outside where all the protesters were this week, and you know, great memories, and you just can't believe that this stuff's happening at all, especially in the supposed to be the mother of democracy.
It's weird.
It's quite unreal. Have you heard anything from the mothership in Illinois? What's happening there still?
Yeah, we've had a few. I've had a few meetings this week with America. Obviously, Chicago's very cold at the minute. Very cold at the minute. But I've always loved that. I love phoning home and saying how cold it is. You know, sometimes I've been in Michigan, in Chicago, Lake Michigan. It's actually, it's got that freezing. The lake has frozen away from the sides, and you can look down. It's weird. We think we get cold. We think it's cold today. It's -2 out here. You're not cold until you get to Chicago. The weirdest thing I've ever done is when you get a glass of water and you throw it up in air, and as it's in the air, it turns to slush before it gets to the bottom. It is so cold.
Well, honestly, we worked in some places at Deer Park in just, you know, further up in the state or whatever. When we were out there, I think it was the year I went into, we did a load of work in Canada as well. The toilets were freezing. The actual water in the toilets were freezing. They had that really, really bad cold snap, and they were putting, you know, there was stuff freezing on the line. It was just absolutely unreal. I've been in some places where it's so cold, but it didn't feel that cold when you were out and about. But stuff was happening around the streets. I mean, it was like a state of emergency in some places. It was just unbelievable. I've just never known any. And then we moan about that.
I was very lucky. I was there this time last year. I went out to Chicago on the 3rd of December. We had Gus McPherson, who's a professor from college, who did us a presenter's course. It was absolutely amazing. We did it in Rosemount. Near the airport, and I loved it down there. I met all the guys there. Lou were there from Canada, all the American team. There were about 30 of us. You know, went out for food on an evening. I just like, you just take it. I took it for granted because that's probably my 19th trip out there last year. I've so missed it this year, being out with the guys this year. I know they're doing the training virtually this year. But I was very lucky. I can say that this time last year I was out there, and then I came back and I had my 40th birthday. If you remember, Gaz.
I think you'll find it was your 50th.
I know. I like to joke a little bit.
60th. You just lie. You saved your 40 anywhere in between, couldn't you, really?
Listen, the people who are watching will make their own mind up that it's not. Anyway, I think we've got our next guest joining us in the car park at Barbers Arms. I think he's just joining us, pulling up there. We've got David Foster joining us from BarberEVO. David, welcome to Barbers Arms.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Well, very good.
Average. How are you?
Welcome to the Barbers Arms.
You know what? This is overtaken my previous lifetime ambition of playing for Rangers. So it's absolutely brilliant to be joining you both tonight. Thank you.
Hey, do you know what? That is the best bar picture. I'm really pissed off that you found that, because that is my all-time favorite show in the absolute world. You got Norm, who's the absolute hero. I've met him myself in person. I cannot believe it, mate. That is the best show ever. Cheers.
Carry on, Norm. Hey, do you know what, Dave? Are you same as us as well? I've got a good friend up in Scotland who I travelled to America quite a bit with as well. He's got family over there. But Channel 4 in the morning, you've got Fraser, you've got Raymond, you've got Cheers.
Yeah.
I'm hooked onto them on a morning. First, I don't watch the news anymore. I just get on to see what's on Channel 4. So Cheers is fantastic, isn't it?
Do you know what, Simon? I'm so glad you mentioned that Channel 4 in the mornings. It's revolutionised my last 15 years. I mean, it's one of these ones where, why do you want to know what's going on in the world when you can watch the same episode of Frasier from 20 years ago?
Exactly.
that you watched 6 months ago when they last did the full rerun, you know?
Do you know what, David? It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. What are you drinking tonight?
Do you know what? I got dog's abuse from this all day long from Andrew Brewster, who's going to get it tight tonight on this, by the way, let me tell you. So I've got a vodka soda, I don't know if it's showing up, vodka soda and lime here, and I've got a Coors Light chaser just to mix and match.
Guys, it can stay in the arms then. This kid can stay in the arms.
Yeah.
I like it. We had Simon earlier. I don't know if you watched Paul Simmons earlier, but he had some Stellas there just in case he got thirsty. So that's mean. That's January. There's no fucking dry January when you talk about that. That's going for it.
Do you know what, guys? Do you know what? Start of a new year, I had a couple of the Coors Lights, the Bud Lights, etc. Just trying to watch the figure. You know, I'm not getting any younger. And then I saw Paul come on with the Stellas, and I thought, oh shit, I've got to up my game. I was desperately looking about downstairs. I don't have any kind of mixers or anything, so I'm good. I'm good to go. Paul, thanks for the heads up. I'm glad I'm on second.
Do you know what, David? I mean, this has taken it to another level with you, because you're usually the one who's interviewing, having all the headaches, you know, production, everything else that's getting everybody in place, make sure they, you know, I'd have cried if you hadn't tried your mute button off tonight. That would have been absolutely top. But you've done it so many times, and I know you've interviewed us as well, but it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Fantastic magazine, publication as well, but it must be nice being on the other end. No pressure and just waiting to see what we're going to ask you.
You know, I'm so glad you've said that. Again, we were talking about it all day. It's nice to be on the other side of it, absolutely. But at the same time, I was watching you guys just there and the questions you were asking Paul, and I was making notes. I was thinking, what's my answer is going to be? And Andrew's just texted me and he said, you know, they're not going to ask you the same fucking questions.
No, we're used to this now, mate. We've had 36 shows at it, so we're pros at it. Get ready. Fuck off, Piers Morgan. It's me and Gaz in the house. We're ready for it. So, David, you know the show. You've watched it loads of times. You've been a fan of it. Thank you for the fantastic spread you give us in your magazine. I've got to say, I didn't like not only the magazine that I've just received, but I received two, actually. Yes. I received one in the week, and then I received another one today, Gary. Did you?
Exactly the same. We had a production meeting beforehand, and I said to him, the guys are doing good. I said, it's a really, really good edition this week, you know, this month, because I know it's bi-monthly. And I said, but I got one last week and I've got another one today. And he said, so have I? I said, is that because he's coming on the show or what?
Guys, honestly, I'll tell you why that is. I got asked the question, I think it was Wednesday. Did you remember to send Simon and Gary one before Friday? And I was
We've got it. We're here. The other question, the magazine's fantastic. It's a fantastic read. The quality is unbelievable. But I've got to say is, why is Dan and Rob on the cover and not me and Gaz? That's the only thing with that. So that's where that should be. But the magazine is fantastic. This issue is unbelievable. So you know what the kind of format of the show, mate. We enjoyed our interview that me and Gaz did. I love the editorial stuff you did for us as well. So thank you for that. So some of the questions that we're going to do with you, David, is about you, and then we're going to build up a little bit of a profile afterwards, quick fire questions afterwards as well. So one of the first questions I've got for you is, who would you most like to interview? Wow. Almost in the industry, but also not only interview them, but who would you think, you know, from a BarberEVO, who would you love to have the access where it's fly on the wall? So you could interview them for a week, but you could capture everything, what they do at work, in their own life, where they are with the partners, the kids, or no kid. Who would you most like to capture for that week?
Great question. That's a great question. Obviously, present company excluded. We are so fortunate that we've got our North American publications, BarberEVO and SalonEVO, and there's a guy that we put on the cover in BarberEVO in December, and his name's Marcus Harvey, and he's an incredible character, but the reason why I would select him is he's actually got a television show in the States, and it's called Ghost Brothers, right? So basically what they do is they get all expenses paid, they tour all of America, and what they do is they go to like ghost houses or, you know, places where people think it's a haunted home, or there's like, you know, it's possessed, or somebody still lives in the house that they've just moved into. And he does that. And then at the weekend, he goes and cuts like LeBron James's hair. He goes and cuts, you know, all the top sports stars. So this guy's got everything going on. I don't know where he finds the time, but it sounds like a pretty interesting lifestyle for sure.
So Marcus Harvey would be the one that you'd want to not only interview, but you'd like to have that fly on the wall for a full week access to him, home life, everything professionally.
Absolutely. And you know, just talking about flies on the wall, and I've got to get this in, right? I've got to get this in. But you know, 5 million viewers, or maybe I've made that a bit bigger than what it was, but millions of viewers in the Barber's Arms, right? If anybody wants to know why Andrew Brewster isn't joining us tonight, it's not because he's shy. But the problem is, out of 5 million viewers, the only people that would understand him is Tom Baxter, Alan Stone, and Vicky Harrison Smith. Basically, anybody in the Northeast. No one else would understand a word he's got to say.
Oh no, we're good at translating, and anything we don't know, we'll just make up. So he'd be all good. He'd be all good that one anyway.
Right. While we're drinking, are we having a little shot while we've got him on? Woo, Chamon. See, we're proper kitted out here. You see, we've got the tequila Patron little mugs. Are we all set for a shot? Guys, we'll toast BarberEVO on a fantastic start to the year. Great magazine. David, all the best.
Nice. Barber's Arms, all the viewers, everybody at home, take care.
All the very best, sir.
Oh, it don't get any easier that, you know, guys. I know we're getting paid to do this, but
I love it.
You don't get anybody. Do you know, I did a college.
You love that, David. Are you a whiskey man?
Do you know what? I'm going to disappoint a nation here. I'm actually not. Truthfully, I'll drink, you know, the entire trolley full of vodka just to kind of steady the nerves. But I'm really not a whiskey guy. I'm sorry, Gary. I've let the team down.
Oh, this is the little brew I put together. This is a 4-2-1 mix. So it's 2 parts nice whiskey, whatever you decide. 1 part Glavar, which is whiskey liqueur, and then 4 parts ginger wine. It's called the Whiskey Mac. It's absolutely.
Yeah, Gary, that sounds like the kind of drink that's going to put hairs in my chest at long last.
Oh yes. Next time I see you in the flesh, you're drinking some of that, baby. It isn't whiskey.
Ew.
It's heaven, baby.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, every time I love Scotland. You know, I have to say, David, as well, and you know, I've said this a few times, you know, lots of my pals up in Scotland. A lot of my early career was launched up in Scotland, you know, through Sean McDonough when we were at Sally's, and Michael Connolly and Alice McNicholson. You know, Sally's at that point when they were run by Jerry Egerty, through Wahl. A lot of my early career was done up in places like Elgin and Inverness, and on a Sunday, but there'd be 200-300 people there. So Scotland's always been a massive, close part of my career. So I obviously love coming up there. For what you guys have done with the magazine as well, is great that, you know, it's come out of Scotland as well. Just a quick question here, though. I know me and Gaz have spoke about this. Is the magazine's fantastic, and I'm 50. I know Gaz is a lot older than me, but when we look at stuff like that, I will see that more beneficial to me. I've read every single page. I can tell you, you know, to our producer Trevor, I was taking photographs on the day of it. I've read it all. Where the younger generation will see things online. How do you see print magazines going in the next 3 years?
Do you know what? That's a terrific question. It's something that we have to take stock of. Literally, you know, once a month, we have to think about this. Print in general is on its way out. Let's be honest. There's very few people, particularly anyone aged 30 and below, that actually buys a newspaper or, you know, buys like a weekly, you know, sports magazine or, you know, anything like that. But the one thing that means so much to us, and it's why we put it on premium stock and premium paper with the nice matte finish, is because there is no industry quite like the hair and beauty industry that actually is so aesthetically pleasing. It's about the visual. It's about, you know, the visual is the sort of stimuli, if you like, to, you know, having, you know, a better feeling or a better sense of yourself, a morale boost for a lot of clients. It's about how they look, how they feel. And for the actual professionals that are cutting hair, that are putting their work in magazines, to see your work in print, it's something that is tangible, that you can see, that you can hold up, that you can show people when they come round to your gaff. And that for us is super important.
Do you know what, David? I think you've just hit it on the head there. I mean, other than, you know, just recently where we can't even give customers a drink or, you know, clients a drink or have the daily papers on the wall or whatever. But to have that in your hand, and it's almost like a show of your work as well, isn't it? But I mean, it's a ready-made style book as well, isn't it? You know, all the editorials that you've done that goes through there. I mean, there's some great pieces in there, especially like the one that you've dedicated to the Hair and Barber Council, by the way, pages 48 and 49, everybody, if you want to watch it, but if you want to look at it. But I think from our point of view, as I know Simon said it, that, you know, over 30 or wherever, or, you know, a person of our age, we'd rather have it in our hands. You know, even a logbook, even when we're doing qualifications, yeah. I still like to have a logbook. I still like to, you know, when we do an assessment with some of the, you know, our students, we keep all the back issues like your magazine there purely for education reasons as well. They are the best tool for consultation. They're the best tool for showcasing somebody's work. They're the best tool for apprentices to see what they can aspire to. You know, it gets lost, I think, in the digital age, because what happens when it goes online, unless you're pointed in that direction to actually access it, you never find it, would you? Because we've got so much digital media, you know, fake news, whatever it is. I think to have that book on your coffee table or on the wall or whatever, it's a credit to whoever's produced it. And I think, you know, I know it's a bi-monthly production. You're 4 years old now, are you? I think is this number 24?
Bloody hell, you've just knocked 28 years off of me there. Yeah, the magazine is 4 years old now. Started in January 2017. I mean, the company kind of started before then, so 4 years old in terms of a company. 24 UK editions now. 16 North American BarberEVOs, which was such an incredible experience and continues to be life-changing experiences, actually. And then SalonEVO as well. So yeah, I mean, guys, your feedback means a lot to us. I think the long and short of it for us is everybody's got their phone in their hand 24/7 now, it seems, and it's nice to actually have a reason to put your phone down and actually use both your hands to read the magazine, or one hand to read the magazine and the other one to have, you know, a light calorie beer if you want.
Gary, I've got to say, I'm a bit of a show pony anyway, but when I'm at home, you know, I always have on a coffee table or my breakfast bar, I'll have the latest magazines, because when people used to come to your house, they used to pick them up. I used to like it because I was always in them, but it's just nice. And that's a magazine that I would have. My fear is for us older generation is that we would stop that, because trust me, guys is sit to the head on, I think out from 35 upwards will read that magazine as it is today, delivered to them, more than what they will do online. And you read the articles, you read the education, you know, there's stuff in there this month. You know, I've read that with the guys over in America, you know, the guys who did they did the art on the back of the wall, on the walls. Musa, Dan Davis is in there. You know, you had a nice tribute to Sam Wall, God bless him. There were lots of stuff in there that I'd always keep. I keep magazines as well in my shed. I like to keep history.
Do you know what, Simon? I'm exactly the same. I've got every single edition, you know, of different magazines and I've just said they're an educational tool as well. You know, even though, you know, you're in them, we're in them, you know, or whatever it is, I think people need to see that as well. And when you pick them up from an apprentice point of view and say, well, this is Sam, this is Simon, you know, whoever.
Yeah,
and
I think. Yeah, no. So I think credit to you guys. It's great. Do you know, David, you'll like this as well. But I think it was Jackie, actually, one of our production team said to me, I'm sure it was Jackie. So Jackie messaged me. I'm sure she said to me, what we've done at Barbers Arms as well, people will be able to look back in 20 years' time and think, oh, how was COVID for the barbering and hairdressing industry? One of the things you'll be able to do is go back and look at Barbers Arms, and we've kind of documented since April till whenever it finishes. We've had some of the top people, and not just barbers, but hairdressers as well. We've documented that kind of process as well. So your magazine as well has added into that as well. From Barbers Arms as well, you know, we also support BarberEVO, we support Modern Barber and BarberENVY as well. So the top magazines that we work with. I know Wahl as well. We've got some nice editorial stuff in there. I know you work really well with Chris Barleycorn from Wahl UK. So it's a great relationship that we've had with you guys. I think you've, you know, in the 4 years that you guys have been going as well, you know, growing up in this industry, what, you 32, David?
You know what? I actually think I got that wrong earlier on. I'm 33 to the best of my knowledge.
33. But Gaz will relate with this. You know, for us growing up, especially as hairdressers, you know, for us, it was every Friday there's an Hairdressers Journal magazine.
Yeah.
And then later in your career, as I've moved up, there's been lots of other magazines that's popped up. You know, the ones that have stayed around have been really strong. I always think there's room for other magazines. This shouldn't be just one magazine. Hairdressers Journal were obviously the staple for everybody growing up, but I think, you know, what you guys have done, what Joe's done, what Rachel did before she sold it, has been fantastic.
David, just quick question. How did you get into the American market? How did BarberEVO get over into the States? I mean, I know it's a huge market. It's great. I know you've had Kenny on there. You know, there's lots of people that we've worked with over there. You know, we've done all the shows over there. What made you get over into the States? What was the plan there? And is it all run from the UK, or have you got a US team?
Do you know what? Great question. What made us do it? I think it's that term, you know, shy bairns getting out. So, you know, we were excited to expand. We wanted to grow our business, and you know, I think Andrew and I had a desire to take things a step further. One of the things that we noticed, the more we did our first year in the UK, it was that, you know, you mentioned, Simon, people like Chris Barleycorn. It was people like Chris who were, you know, passing on feedback about, obviously, the American, I think, Gary, you said the mothership earlier on out there in Sterling, that were saying, look, this is something that isn't available in the States, and everything to do with British barbering or hairdressing is like gold in the States. because of the level of sophistication, class, the way that the kind of British look and feel comes across in the States, that it would be, you know, a fantastic opportunity. And, you know, to be honest with you, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll be tuned in just now. My dad, when I was growing up, did a lot of work in the States, and you know, I got to see some of the places when I was growing up. I was very fortunate in that sense, and it gave me a bit of a taste, if you like, of the idea of doing business overseas. And do you know what? Between, you know, Andrew, who has been the creative driving force, the stuff that Andrew does is just incredible. And he now has a you know, full team, a full production team around him, which is just so pleasing to see. So yeah, we are the North American barbering magazine. We are the North American print salon magazine as well. And we operate out of an office in East Kilbride, you know, 10 miles south of Glasgow. And that is you know, it's bloody difficult, and it's painstaking. We've got distribution houses that we use, a network that is incredible in the States that took, you know, 9 months to build up. But I tell you what, if you remove, like, you know, the sort of financial opportunities, if you remove the business opportunities, just being able to say to yourself every so often, stop what you're doing, grab a beer, take a deep breath and think, there's people in one of the 50 states, there's people in all the territories in Canada that know our magazine. People we know who are on holiday, barbershop. Yeah, just a magazine in that barbershop. That's really cool, you know.
You've got Andrew commenting as well. While he's watching, Andrew, actually, David, he's commenting on the show as we are speaking.
I've just seen that 33, too many of those light beers. That's good. That's good coming from him. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep my powder dry on that one.
Do you know what though? I mean, obviously myself and Simon, we've worked in North America a lot. They've got loads to offer. I mean, they've got fantastic barbers, and it's because it's such a huge country. Well, such a huge area, because obviously it's America and Canada, but it's got so much to offer as well. But they look to Europe as well, so much for inspiration. But you know, such great people out there as well, and you know, heart goes out to them for they're suffering as much as us. But you know, people out there, No Name Barber, Cole Thomas, all these you know, great barbers that we see at all the shows. It's an inspiration for us as well, you know, and it's great that you are sharing that as well across the pond. I think it's really good that we integrate like that as well. So it's a very small world. I think it's really nice as well that it's not just on social media, because social media is a great tool, but I think to have it in your fingers is another fantastic part of the industry.
You know what, just if I can add just a little bit extra to that, and for anybody who is in the barbering industry in the UK, and you guys, people know who Simon Shaw and Gary Machin are in the States. People ask us when we're at trade shows if we know these guys. People ask us all the time, and they're really, I think if it's a piece of advice, now what I know about cutting hair, guys, you could stick in the back of a fag packet, quite frankly, right? But what I will say is, we made our name, our brand name, we built connections, we networked our backsides off, and we went to the Connecticut Barber Expo, we went to BarberCon New York, BarberCon LA, all these trade shows in Chicago and places like St. Louis, literally all over that country, all the bloody air miles, it was an expense as well. But what we did was we built the connections, the same things that people do here at the trade shows. And I've got to say, if you are a British barber, if you have that credential, just by the grace of God that you happen to be born here, people will you know, they'll listen, they'll watch what you do, they'll be fascinated by what you've got to do. It is an incredible opportunity for anybody in the UK and Ireland to go over there and, you know, have a good time, get your name out there.
It's fun though, mate, isn't it? You've had a great time doing it.
It's yeah, exactly. You'll have enjoyed what you've done, David, and so will Andrew. You'll have enjoyed you know, it's not like a slog going to these air shows. I was looking through the magazine as well. I think I've seen an article about Benji from America. He won our barber competition, I think 217, 218. He'll tell you the funny story though, because we was over in Charleston in 2019, and we was in. It was beautiful weather. We were doing some American training out there. We went on a ghost tour, and he's got this really deep, scary voice. So we're on this ghost tour, and this woman's, and I'm getting really into it, thinking, you know, I'm here, I'm going to get into it. She's like, can you see this woman? I'm like, yeah. He did this donkey voice, Benji. I swear down, I nearly jumped out of my skin. And you know, like, you can take the boy out of Yorkshire for years and years, but you can't take the Yorkshire out of the boys. He did it, and I'm like, got hold of him like that. Come here. It's really funny, but I've seen him in your magazine. Great guy, great barber, lots of talent as well. David, we're gonna finish off with some quick fire questions with you. But have you got a question for me? Apparently, Trevor just sent me. You've got a question for me.
You know what? I do actually. And Paul actually kind of flipped this on its head. He didn't just flip his own head. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really funny. But he flipped this question on its head because Simon, another one of my lifetime ambitions, apart from being on this show, which has been ticked off now, is actually to be up on stage with you and sing along to Neil Diamond, right? That is so high up there. I've got to say it really is, and I'm going to make it happen. You're going to do it with me, whether you like it or not.
I'll do it.
Hey guys, I'm not joking now. Rachel, barmaid, bought me Neil Diamond tickets. She won't tell me how much they cost, but I love Neil Diamond anyway. But absolutely. She won't tell me how much they cost. But I actually saw him live numerous times live, and I'm up there with you as well, baby. I know every word of every song.
I guess my question, because I've got a habit of doing this and kind of going all over the place. Simon, if I had a microphone in my hand and I passed it to you, and if I had one and Gary had one, what would we sing? Where would you like to sing it?
So we're not talking here, Sweet Caroline. We're talking any song.
Just in general. That one's for me and you at some point.
Oh, we'll tick that off definitely. I'm going to write that down. David Foster, BarberEVO, needs to do Sweet Caroline on stage with me at some exhibition. So we can organise that, no problem. Because anybody who's watching, don't worry. I ain't sleeping. I'm working on everything to make our shows the best ever. Wahl will fetch you the best shows when it's safe to do so. And fucking Sweet Caroline will be on there. So that's a definite. If I was singing a song, I think we'd have to do YMCA.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Me, you and Gaz.
You know, anybody, you guys have got it. On my phone, I've still got that WhatsApp image when I tried to do Movember there. Honest to God, do you think I kissed the floor in a barbershop? Oh my goodness.
No, we'll get Gaz some feathers and we'll do the YMCA, all of us together.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Right, we're going to finish off then with the quick fire questions for David Foster from BarberEVO. You know what's coming up here. We've changed it back to the normal format from Simo. So, David, what's your favourite food?
Oh, God. Pizza.
Pizza. What's your favourite drink?
Iron Brew, just for the sake of it.
It's made from girders.
Exactly.
These bastards are sponsored up there by the way. I've had it on a few times and I've had an hangover. It does work.
Yeah.
What's your favourite destination?
Oh, easy. Boston.
Have you ever watched the film with Ben Affleck with the robbers in Boston? What's it called? The Town.
No, but
watch it.
One of my favourite films is Field of Dreams. You've got to watch that because they're in Boston for that.
That's good as well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite music?
Do you know what? The last 9 months, all we've listened to in the office is Country Hits Radio UK. Superb.
You love it. America's massive with that. And so, who would be your ideal dinner date? Don't be a fanny.
Oh God. Oh, I don't know. I better say the missus.
I said, don't be a fanny.
Okay, I tell you, my ideal dinner date would be Steven Gerrard.
Stevie G, top of the league as well. Okay, here we go. We've got David Foster here from BarberEVO. If you've not got the copy of the magazine as well, guys, it's a fantastic read. There's some great articles in there. The magazine looks fantastic. The boys are doing a really good job, both him and Andrew Brewster as well. So David's having his favourite pizza. He's drinking his favourite drink, which is Iron Brew. He's doing all this in the city of Boston, in the good old USA. This is some country music, and he's having all this with Stevie G, the manager of Glasgow Rangers, currently top of the SPL. David Foster, thank you for joining us on Barber's Arms. It's been a pleasure, bro. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.
David, I hope to have a drink with you in Boston very soon, mate.
Me too. Thanks, buddy. Cheers.
I'm coming, guys.
I was just going to say, have you gone back road?
No, I'm just refilling. Do you know what? My drinks are colder outside than they are in the fridge.
Well, we've had such a good night. I've got a bit excited. I just had to go and fetch another one. I told you I got enough to get me through the night, but obviously I was wrong.
Great guests. I thought Simo were good. It's good to get English back on for the first show. Dave Foster there from BarberEVO, great magazine, along with the other top magazines as well that we support at Barber's Arms, Modern Barber, Barber Envy, as well as BarberEVO. But it's great to get Dave Foster on. It's a great guest, actually. I think he interviews so naturally as well. He's used to it being on the other side of it, and I thought he came across really great tonight. He's a great guy, actually. I really enjoy his company.
Definitely, I think he's a nice fella, somebody you go for a pint with. But he's got the face for TV as well, hasn't he? Him?
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
He's a nice lad.
Charming young man. I don't know how Scotland's going to go. He pulled himself back a bit there because he didn't like whiskey, but he likes Iron Brew. So he pulled himself back.
The thing is, I mean, that's a, you know, everybody drinks that up there, don't they? When they've got a hangover, everybody drinks Iron Brew.
I do.
What?
Do you know the sugar-free Iron Brew is dearer than the normal Iron Brew up there?
Well, there's a funny story there, and I don't know if I've told you this before, but we had some students come down to our training school, and they were from Scotland, and they went nuts. They were more excited about the shop around the corner because they've got a sugar tax on up in Scotland now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And this is a while ago, and they found normal Iron Brew that was non-sugar free. It was the proper stuff, and they bought the shop. They come out with bags of this Iron Brew because they were taking it out with them. I goes, "What are you doing?"
I mean,
said, "We can't get it back home." And he says, "It's the best hangover cure ever."
It's kind of I have Lucasade if I'm struggling, but if I've been up there, I've just fitted in with everybody else. I've done it, and it's done all right. It's done all right. I won't ever buy it down here, but that and square sausages. They do square sausages.
For me, it's a kiss from the good woman and a good bacon sarnie. That gets me off to work if I've got an hangover. So
easy.
that does me all day long. So I don't know about the Iron Brew made of glitters, but Ross, if you're watching, I haven't got me kilt on tonight, but you'll be the first one to see. He's seen everything else, but
Ross, I can't wait to get into your drinks cabinet if you're watching, Ross, because it looks fantastic. So neat as well. Looks really good. Guys, we're going to finish off. We haven't got a lot of time left. Thank you to everybody who's watching again around the globe. We're back here. This is January the 8th, 2021. Barber's Arms is back in. We've got loads of good stuff coming up in the next few weeks. Gaz, who we got on next week?
Mr. Frank Gambuza next week. Unbelievable legend in Tennessee. Met him numerous times. Absolutely fantastic fella. He was the past president of Intercoiffeur in the United States of America. Beautiful guy, lovely soul, and great family. Spent a lot of time with him. He's a great guy. So look forward to that. And we've got other guests coming up as well.
So it'd be great to get Frank on next week. So all you USA people out there as well as watching us, don't forget to tune in next week as well. Guys, before we finish off, just, you know, from your point of view, from a salon owner point of view, multiple salons as well, and employing lots of staff, trying to break it down for people, any advice that you can give to people?
It's a good job you've said that, mate. Thank you very much. Lead into very well. We've got quite a few things, really. So, guys, I think from first and foremost, all you've got to do, anything that's troubling you, anything that you need to speak to anybody about, there's a lot of people out there. In fact, from a BarberEVO point of view, page 73, if you don't want to read anything else, there's all helplines there that you need. I'm not being patronizing here, but if you need to speak to anybody, we're available. You know, DM message me if you want to. But from a personal point of view, just please talk to anybody if you've got any problems. From an official point of view, if you've got any debts whatsoever, if you've got anything that's troubling you, anything that you think, oh my God, I can't pay this, speak to the person that you need to speak to from the company. Don't bury your head. Don't just let it go. Don't just it'll just get bigger and bigger and worse and worse. There's people out there, they know what's happening. This is not normal times. Just get out there, speak to who you need to speak to, whether it be your bank, you know, your landlord, whoever it is, just make the call. You need to speak to them. Few bits of information. There is grants available. From a furlough point of view, all your staff should be furloughed now. Don't worry about your staff from wages point of view. They will get 80% of their staff, 80% of their wages. It's flexible. So in our sector especially, we're all closed anyway. But when we do get back, there's still a flexibility in the furlough system. So if you're not as busy as you should be, it's been extended to the 30th of April. Okay, so don't think you have to pay everybody if you're not making the money. We can still use it. So if they're working 2 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever it is, you can still use the furlough. Self-employed income support, make your next payment now, your next grant now. It's the third one. It's this time. You have to get it in the next week. So from an income and support point of view, self-employed, you can get it. If you can't get that, or if it doesn't make it up, even with your furlough, please get in touch with Universal Credit. They will make it up if you cannot get your full amount of wages. There is something that can be done. Don't ever think that you've got to go, get by and say there's nothing there anymore. Payment holidays, they do finish. If you had the 3 month, you're allowed another 3 month. If you've done the 6 month, unfortunately, you've taken it, but you then go to a tailored situation where you have to talk to your lender. So it isn't the end of the world. You can get a payment holiday. It will be tailored to what you can afford to do, though. But you have to speak to them. Don't just leave it and bury your head. Another thing, from an employer's point of view, PPL, PRS, your waste control, your card machines, all these people, if you are closed, they should be either giving you a refund, which they probably won't, but they will give you, excess on whatever's coming next. So I think PRS and PPL, for your entertainment licenses, if you've already paid it up front, they'll pick off the next one. We're all going to go back. Don't regret phoning them. Just phone them and tell them the situation. They don't know. That's all I'm saying. You have to tell them. You have to let them know. Waste collection, we'll pay that. Business waste as well. You know, it costs us an absolute fortune. We've done less work than we've been open this year. By the time we get to, it looks like the 22nd of February, we're going to be closed more than we were open. So do not let it go. The rest of it is, you know, your VAT bill is deferred till the 31st of March. I know it sounds a lot of information taken, but 31st of March, VAT has been deferred, and HMRC will do a deferred payment as well. So I know it's a lot of information. There is an LRSG grant, which is under 15 grand, it's 4,000 quid, and then you'll get your top up, which is 1,334. Don't leave it. Just get in touch with people. Get in touch with your local government. Ours is stoke.gov.uk. Just get in there, put it in. If you've already claimed it in November, they will automatically give it you anyway, so you don't have to do anything. So that's one good thing. I think Simon's gone back round. I think I've bored him enough, but all I can say is, people, get out there, do exercise, do what you can. If you need to speak to anybody, access the helplines. If you need to speak to any of us, we're going to be back here next Friday. We love you all. But the main thing is, don't leave it. Always phone, get it in the pipeline. They will understand any hardship whatsoever. Can I just say one more thing, Simon, while we're just talking as well? Can I just wish Mr. Errol Douglas a happy birthday today?
Happy birthday, Errol. I sent him a message earlier, but happy birthday, Errol. All the best,
to all of us who are out there who are suffering together, it's snowy in Staffordshire. Quite warm inside at the moment. Love you all to death. Thank you for joining us. Anybody who's going to follow us tomorrow, or couldn't actually watch us tonight, love you all. I'll hand you over to my partner in crime, Mr. Simon Shaw, who will inevitably have the last word.
Do you know what? I always pass on to you, so this is really weird, but let's see how it goes in 2021. Listen, we've been here before twice. This is third time. This is first time we spoke to you since it's shit. We know it is. There's no like Happy New Year's or all like that. I have stressed to everybody who I've spoke to, if you didn't get it right first time, if you didn't get it right second time, sure to God, third time round, you work on your business, you work on your upskills, whatever's available, to make sure you're better when we get back. We will get back. This is probably the last hurdle. If not, we're all in the same boat together. I ain't traveling. I ain't doing my job to the full capacity. So whatever's going to be is going to be for all of us. So let's do the right thing. If vaccines come around, once they've done the NHS and the vulnerable people, if you're eligible to have it, have it. Let's do the right thing. I don't want it, but I'm going to have it. I'm definitely going to have it. I had my vaccinations when I went to traveling, and I had my booster. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have the COVID jab as soon as I'm available to have it. And let's try to get back, hopefully, for some normality. Up to that, we will give you some normality on Barbers Arms from now till hopefully March, when you reopen. We'll give you some inspiration and some ideas on how to get that back. Watch mine and Gaz's daily blogs. We're going to start them back up as well. So hopefully we can give you a bit of inspiration, a bit of motivation. Thank you to 5.1 million viewers that's watched us so far. Keep watching Barbers Arms. Can't wait to see you next week. We've got Frank Gambuzo in the house from America, and we've got loads of massive guests coming up in the next few months anyway. So it's going to be amazing. Adios. Be safe. Stay in. Protect yourselves. Protect the NHS and save lives. God bless to everybody. Good night. God bless.
Good night. God bless. Stay safe.
I think we might. Trevor might have dropped off.